Now it's time for TIPisodes with quick tips you should know. Techniques you can implement into your workflow right here on A Tale, oh yeah, A Tale of Two Hygienists.
Listeners, welcome into this week's TIPisode. I'm joined today by Dr. Tina Saw. Tina, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Andrew.
I'm excited about this. It's a long time coming. We had conversations more than a year ago, actually, and we were going to dive into a bunch of things, and then I dropped the ball. I apologize about that. But listeners, you're in for a treat today. Dr. Saw is just so passionate and energetic about innovation and change, and I've been trying to follow you from afar, and you are doing some amazing, innovative things. Can you give us a little bit of your background real quick?
Yeah, so thanks for having me, Andrew. My name is Dr. Tina Saw. I'm the CEO and founder of Oral Genome. We're a point-of-care dental saliva test. We do everything chairside or in the home, but pretty much we can talk a little bit more about later. But you asked about my background, and my background is I'm a dentist, graduated from Loma Linda University in 2014. And then when the pandemic hit, I was like, okay, why are we not doing more point-of-care testing in dentistry? And so kind of started exploring that and realized that this was a huge need and something our patients really, really wanted. So hence the evolution and development of Oral Genome.
So did you ever find an answer? Why aren't we doing more point of care at these appointments? Who dropped the ball there?
You know what? I have no idea. I think that as an industry, we have been doing dentistry the same way over and over and over. And we've been status quo for a very long time. And so as things started evolving, I was like, our patients are asking for this. Providers haven't thought about this because all we've been doing is really looking at x-rays, doing perio probing and saying, okay, this is the cavities you have. This is what needs to be treated. Oh, you have periodontal disease. You need a scaling and root planing. And then you would get this frustration in the chair where it's like, well, I don't understand why I'm having this issue. It must be a genetic problem. Or, about 6 months ago, you told me I didn't have this problem. Why are you all of a sudden saying I have this problem? And what could I have done to prevent it? And then you get that frustration in the chair. Well, you must be overselling. So I am going to go to a different dentist. And then you get the call in your front office is like, Mr. So-and-so is transferring his x-rays, would like all this stuff. And then you kind of figure out, okay, we need to build trust in the profession. We also need to have better tools for our diagnosis and screening for our patients. And so I think this is that time. Now we're at the really good time where consumers are really educated about what they want and what they need. And we're also very evidence-based too right now. There's a lot of knowledge that's out there. And I think that patients are really driving this right now.
I love this because I totally agree with you. We've done the same thing for forever, and the disease rates aren't changing, right? And in some cases are actually going in the opposite direction no matter what we're throwing at it. And I feel like there's so many complications that can happen in one's mouth that we're not really paying attention. I don't want to say that we're taking the easy way out as clinicians, but I kind of feel like sometimes we're taking the easy way out. It's like, oh, maybe it is genetics. Oh, maybe did your mom have this? What did you do this? Maybe do you have your mouth open when you're sleeping? We blame so many different things without really getting to the root of the problem. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, I really like that. There's a lot of, I would say, like what we think. And we're like, okay, you're exactly what you say. Well, you might be having cavities because you probably have dry mouth and your mouth breathing. But there hasn't been any proof. We might look, oh, you've got that tongue that is very, has the stipuling, so you must have dry mouth. Oh, you've got a lot of class 5 lesions, so you must have dry mouth. That's the cause. I think as human beings, we want to know the reason behind something. So when we test for things, we're giving you the reason why. It's because your pH levels are super low. Your buffering capacity is not that great. You have high nitric oxide. You have high MMPA. People want to know the reason why. It's just a natural human curiosity. I was looking at everything, and it's crazy because we're still in a really poor economic state, like what you said, in terms of oral health. things haven't really changed, and we're pushing for that change now. I was actually at the ADA Foresight corporate partners meeting last week, and an alarming statistic came out that the global economic cost of poor oral health is 323 billion each year. And there's a lot of productivity loss, and actually oral health is one of the top 10 of the diseases that is causing a lot of the productivity loss. So we haven't even gotten better. This has been a statistic that's been out for a really long time, and we haven't improved. And it's because we haven't had that technology to improve, and Americans want that.
Yeah. Can we get into some of that technology though? Like explain like how the testing works, what we're testing for, and then based on what some of those results are, then what do we do about it?
Yeah, so the way like our test is that you're going to get a test card. It's kind of, think of, when I say test card, think of it like your pregnancy test and your COVID test. It's on a cassette, just like that. You're going to spit, and we filter out your saliva. Saliva is a very difficult medium to work with because there's different viscosities, but we're able to have a device that gets that saliva to flow with some solutions in there that's going to, once you drop it, it detects the antibodies, and it will be able to semi-quantify it. But why we are point of care is traditionally like a COVID or pregnancy test, you're going to see the control band and you're going to see the detection band. It's a yes or no. But for us, we're actually semi quantifying because we have a technology that we built, which is a computer vision program that is, once you take that photo, we're able to check the intensity of those bands, the color changes, and things like that to actually semi quantify how much of this biomarker that you have, which then is going to give you those results instantaneously. So we've really, really taken the current existing medical technologies out there and vamped it up with the computer vision so that there isn't that mailing in or mailing back that you need. You don't have that wait time. I'm kind of nerdy where when I was in the dental office, I would test out saliva. I'd leave it out on the table. 30 minutes later, it would degrade. Like, I think it was like 2 hours later, all the bacteria would die. Like, I would send this off to like the labs and figure out. So point of care testing is the most pure, I would say, of all the type of technologies that's out there. You're getting it right as it comes out of the mouth and exactly what those bacteria levels are at the time of collection.
So then depending on what bacteria that you're finding,
Mhm.
then what do we do? What do we do with that information that we're giving to the patient then?
Yeah. So when you're doing it, this goes back to the coaching. Like, we have so many offices that utilize our technology, and they're like, well, the feedback they get from patients are phenomenal. I've never had a dentist or a hygienist go over my bacteria levels, my enzyme levels, my pH, buffering capacity, what that all means, what I can do at home, how that impacts my treatment plan, how that impacts my treatment. And not only that, after we are doing all that treatment, they're doing their home care, they're coming back 3 months or 6 months later, retesting and figuring out, wait, this actually did make a huge improvement. And I know that we've kind of eliminated that, I would say, the Pandora's box of things. You're not guessing. You're no longer saying, I think that you have dry mouth, or I think that you might have this or this. It's more of like, we're actually getting a lab result and a report right away in the chair to show that there was actually improvements.
I love it. I love it. One of the things I like about this type of technology or these advancements or things like that is that sometimes I feel like dental hygienists are primary our audience here, but even dentists, everyone in the dental office, sometimes we go through phases where we're just like, man, I'm bored. I want something new. And I think that this is one, it's the change that a lot of people are looking for. Two, it's going to help, like you said, build that relationship of trust that sometimes is lacking with healthcare professionals and their patient base. So I love this. I wish we had more time to talk about it, but unfortunately, we don't. If someone wanted to learn more, if they wanted to reach out to you, how can they find more information about this?
Yeah, so you can go to our website, oralgenome.com. You can find some information about us. Our contact information is on the webpage too. We're also on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Please contact us. Somebody will reach out to you and give you a little bit more information. Ultimately, I think as providers, we shouldn't just be cleaning the teeth. We should actually be educating our patients and helping as part of a whole care package. And we all know about oral systemic connections. So this is a really good opportunity to have a tool to be able to do that and make it easy. So we'd love to hear from you.
Awesome. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.
A tale of two hygienics.